Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, it's the third day of my 3-day weekend this week, and then I'm going back to work for 4 days, and I'm going to kind of keep up with the plans of not doing any packing or unpacking for these couple of days. But I do have kind of a small list of things I want to do. First off, I've gotten enough suggestions now for paint chip colors for that bathroom that I actually want to run over and pick up the actual paint chips so that I can actually look at them in the bathroom under the light and see what it's going to look like. Now that's going to involve a trip to Home Depot and to Lowe's because it's several different brands of paint to look at, but that's fine. I want to do that anyway because I also want to take another look for some lighting in the living room area. That lamp that I showed you that I don't really like, and also those lights that are in the hallway. I want to see if I can find something that'll throw a little bit more light, because I think maybe that hallway is going to be one of the next things I'm going to paint. That might even be before the guest bathroom, but we'll play that by ear and see what happens. I also want to get some screws for this ladder that goes in and out of the pool, because these legs swing up and down, but there's a screw that you can put through here and also on the ladder that goes into the pool that'll hold the ladder in place. I don't really so much have a problem out here, but since this ladder is sort of made out of plastic, it tends to float a little bit in the water. So what ends up happening is, if you don't have it wedged between the ground and the pool and the platform up here, the ladder tends to swing out like this and float in the water. And then when you step on it, you're way out of balance. You end up falling in the pool. So it's clear that there were supposed to be screws that kind of lock that thing in place, and I didn't get those. So like I said, I'll just go to Home Depot and we'll get some there. I also want to install the smoke detectors. As you recall, I put 4 of them in my apartment about a year ago and took those out and brought them back with me, and that was enough for the 3 bedrooms and the end of the hall down there. But I knew I needed a couple more, and when I was at Costco yesterday, they had these combination smoke detector carbon monoxide alarms. And so I picked up a pair of those, and so might as well get those all installed. Oh yeah, these are talking alarms. I hope they don't talk too much. So I just got done shopping at Home Depot. In addition to finding those bolts and screws that I needed for the ladder, I also actually picked up some lamps. This is, I think, going to be the one that's going to replace the lamp that's in the living room that just doesn't throw enough light. One of the things I was looking at is which light fixtures were going to throw the most light, and 1690 lumens is pretty good. I also found these track light things that hold 6 lights each that will go in the hallway, and of course they got a nice high lumen count too, 2342, so hopefully that's going to help a lot. So I just got off the phone with my mom. We actually talked a couple nights ago for about a little over an hour, and at the time she kind of shared with me that she was a little distressed by the fact that it's been almost 5 months since my father passed away, and we haven't been able to have a memorial service for him. We had the graveside service for him, but we were planning originally to have the graveside service and then go do the memorial service directly after. And a couple days before the funeral, we actually ended up having to cancel that because of all the coronavirus stuff. And well, so here we are 5 months later, and nothing's gone on at that point. And worse yet, we don't even know when we will be able to have it. So I kind of mentioned the idea of maybe we should do an online memorial, because we could put something up on YouTube, and we could get everybody involved to record their stuff into their cell phone, send it to me. I could maybe edit it all together, put it up on YouTube, and that would actually maybe even be better than a traditional memorial service, because then it would be something that would last forever. During the memorial service, you either see it when it happens, or that's it. If it's on YouTube, then anybody could watch it anytime. And my mom kind of was interested in that. She's actually been talking to a few people. She's talked to her brother, she's talked to my sister and her family, and they all really like the idea, because at this point we don't know if we'd be able to get together for a memorial service in a month or 6 months or a year or what. So I think at some point that's probably what's going to happen. And I told you that my mom had written a eulogy and thought she had maybe potentially lost it. Well, we managed to find it, and it turns out then she asked, well, could we, just put a web address to the YouTube channel that shows where the video is? And I said, yeah, we could do that. That wouldn't be a hard thing to do. So I think we're going to get going on that. I'll probably end up doing my eulogy on camera, and then probably going to get my uncle, my mom's brother, to do something, and who knows, maybe my sister or her husband or the grandkids or someone to, and then we could just edit it all together. I already know that the pastor of the church is at least open to the idea, because they've been doing online services now for about 4 or 5 months, and they must have a pretty decent setup. So I would bet you that he could, get into his robes and get up in the front of the church and do his little part of the whole thing, just as a separate, as a little separate video clip, and then we could edit it all together. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's what we're gonna do on that. But I just wanted to kind of catch you up on that. Now let's get in and start working on some of the things that I did at Home Depot. One of the priorities, of course, was dealing with this pool and the legs, and I found a bolt that will fit with the nut that's on the other side here. So we got this leg secured down on both sides. Now it turned out that the leg inside the pool didn't have this square nut, and so I had to go try and find that square nut. Fortunately, Home Depot had them in the right size, so I got those legs done now too, and now this thing's nice and secure. It doesn't float around, and that should make it safer getting in and out of the pool. And it's obvious that the plants in the backyard like the fact that the sprinklers are working again. I looked at this thing a couple days ago, and this thing was wilting. So it's had a couple of doses of the sprinklers, and it's getting some water again. And it's clear that this thing's doing better. The lawn is also looking a little nicer too. It's starting to grow again. It wasn't so bad out here, but there's a couple spots in the front yard that have just turned brown, I think, because the sprinklers weren't running. So it's good that that's going. We may overwater for a little while just to kind of catch up, but we're doing each of the 11 zones for about 10 minutes every day in the morning, and so everything seems to be happier out here because of that, because everything's getting water again, and that's good. Now, I've mentioned before that one of the few gripes I have about this house is that there aren't a whole lot of windows, so there isn't a whole lot of natural light in here, and that's why sort of the reason why I'm not a fan of this light above me, because it just doesn't throw enough light for a room that's dark like this. This is actually the living room right now with the lights off, and only the windows in the front and the windows on the side open. There's no artificial light right now, and as you can see, the camera's doing pretty good making me look visible, but it's pretty dark in here. So I am glad that I got those new fixtures, and I think today I'm going to probably put those up. And see, this is what the same room looks like with that one light on. But even here, it's pretty dark around in here, and we could definitely do better. So yeah, I think the new light, like I said, one of the things I don't really like about this this lamp, and you probably can't tell it from the video because it looks all white here. It's all kind of washed out on the camera, but it has kind of a yellow tint to it. It's what they call a soft white light, and I'm not really a fan of it. And as it turns out, this shade on the side of it also absorbs a lot of the light and makes it turn kind of yellow also. So that's part of the reason why I selected the light that I did. There aren't any of those weird shades, and like I said, it's going to cast a lot of light in here, and I think it'll make the situation better. So I've gotten the old fixture off the wall. The new one is reconnected up. Let's turn it on now. I like to actually turn it on when I get it wired up to this point, just to make sure it works. Therefore, if I have a problem, I can fix it before I have put it all together. So let's flip the switch, see what happens. Yeah, that's going to throw a lot better light, I think, right? All right, so let's finish up hanging that thing up on the ceiling. All right, so that's how the final thing looks, and yeah, that's way better light in here now. Ample light in this room, in this area now, lighting the whole area up pretty well. So that's good. That was a good choice for that. I was concerned maybe that wasn't going to be enough light, but it's more than enough light for this area. So I'm happy with that, and it's LEDs too, so all that light's coming from about 30 watts of power. Can't complain about that. So now we're back to putting the lights up in the hall, and this is the type of light fixtures that I had in the hall prior, and you can see it's pretty dark in here. But this is the fixture I put up inside here. Let's actually turn off the lights so you can actually see the fixture here. This is a track light. These are about 38 watts for each fixture, so you know that's throwing an enormous amount of light in here. I like that way better. It lights up this place really well. So let's go put the same one up over here and light up this hall. So all I gotta do now is figure out what I'm gonna do with these extra fixtures. I don't know, maybe I should give them to my viewers. What do you think? All right, so I got the smoke detectors up. That's one of the new smoke detector carbon monoxide detectors. I put those out here in the living room area. And since this is kind of a large room, I just figured, okay, I'll put them at kind of opposite corners. And then when we go down the hall here with my brand new lights out here, which I really like, I have one smoke detector here at the end of the hall, and I have one in each of the bedrooms. Let's get the light on in here. So I got one there, and I have one here. And I have one here. And don't let it say these two are not feeling a little bit more at home in their new bedroom here. Normally they would have just chilled out up on the shelf up there, but I put this little cat bed on top of this thing and they seem very contented just to stay there. So anyway, I think that is all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.